Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, October the 13th, 2025. What a fantastic weekend that we've had. What a fantastic week we had last week. Man, the weather is just beautiful out here. I'm sitting here looking at some awesome colors right outside my garage door here. This is just the greatest weather, man. It's the best time of year. Everything is just, it's peaking. But I wanted to welcome everybody in. I'm sorry, to this week, this broadcast. First and foremost, let's break right into the weekend that we had as far as our football, local football. Gatlinburg Pittman undefeated still, looking like they're 8-0. They're off this coming week. Congratulations to those guys. My Sevier County Bears took one on the chin the other night, man. Grace Christian came in and they played lights out, and just a battle, just a battle. And can't win every single game. We'd love to. That'd be a great way to live life, is knowing you're going to win every game, but you don't gain anything until you lose a little something, so you can build upon that. Those guys will do that. This week they're going to be playing Tennessee High School. Should be a nice bounce back game for them. Pigeon Forge, they got them a win. Good for those guys. They're now sitting at 1-6. Not the greatest record, but you know what? Like I said before, you got to start somewhere, and that's good for those guys. They're going to be at Cobb County. That should be a good game. Hopefully, they can build upon what they did this last week and their win. Maybe that'll help them get to where they want to be with another win. Wish those guys luck. Seymour looks like they may be trying to turn the corner. They're sitting at 4-4. They'll be off this week. They get a little bit of a break there, which I'm sure they need it. Sounds like they gave just about everything they could give to get to 500, and that's awesome. Good for those guys. I'm sure they're banged up and beat up, and they'd like to have this time off. What a better time to have off than right here in the middle of fall, and get a little break, hang out with their friends, and maybe escape their mind of football a little bit and get healed up. So good for those kids. Northview, they're going to be off also. They're sitting at 2-6, so they're going to need that time off to get healed up and everything. But you guys, just a fantastic weekend. Tennessee, we're up to 11, slowly but surely. We don't get the respect that I feel like we deserve, but it is what it is. We're actually sitting probably right about where we need to be. So I don't struggle with that very much. I'd rather be sitting where we're at right now and see what happens. This week we've got a big game at Alabama. I totally predict that we'll shut them up down there at home. That's my prediction. I'm not going to give you a score, but I think we're going to go down there, and I think we're going to take care of business. We'll see. That's why we play the game. Man, what a weekend in college football. You just can't say enough about what happened. Ole Miss just almost dropped it. A 33-point underdog just about beat them. They only won by 3 points. So yeah, and Indiana, where in the world these cats come from? Good for them beating Oregon. I'm not an Oregon fan, but I don't dislike Oregon. But very cool to see them, get it in the Red River rivalry. Man, come on, Texas just, I don't know, man. I've been so down on Texas, and listen, I'm not an arch hater. He got built up because of his name and everything, and I get that. But boy, I was really struggling with whether or not he was going to be able to get them together and get a win. But you know what? They proved everybody wrong. That was, if you would have asked me to bet on that game, I would have said Oklahoma was going to roll them. Then I'd have been wrong. I'm not wrong very much, but sometimes I am. Whatever. So a great weekend in football. NFL, Cowboys, they let me down again. That's that seems to be the typical thing. About the time we feel like we're rolling, they go and I don't even know what you call what happened. The Jerry Jones effect. But anyway, I'll leave that at that. Didn't watch a whole lot yesterday as far as the NFL, but last night I did. I did get on and watch. We watched a little bit of the Detroit Kansas City game, and there was a fight after the game, and everybody's making a big deal out of it. But I just have to say this. When the referees, and we won't even go back to college with the Georgia Auburn game. Not going to go there. You go back and watch it, and you form your own opinions because you don't want my opinion. Anyway, Detroit played a heck of a game. Kansas City, as usual, have the refs in their pocket. Can't convince me otherwise. You don't play nobody, no team, at no point in the history of any sport. If you've got a referee between two teams, nobody plays a clean, perfect game. Nobody. I don't care who it is. And when you've got people that are taunting, it's like Mahomes. I've told I don't know how many people about Patrick Mahomes. I feel like he is a great athlete. I really do. I am not taking anything away from his athleticism. But I'll tell you what I am doing. He's taken the Tom Brady rule and all these other silly rules that the NFL has implemented about the quarterback to another level. And then a few times I've watched this little punk taunt some of the defensive players and stuff, and then run down the sideline and just dare them to hit him because he knows he's going to get that extra 15 yards. Well, last night, when you don't get any penalties called on you, you can win any game. And then after the fact, you've got Branch, who's playing outside of his mind. The dude is just all over the field, and he's tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. Kansas City gets favoritism. You can like that or not like that. That's the truth. I'm tired of seeing it. Everybody's tired of seeing it. Should Branch have knocked that guy's face mask in? No. Probably not the most sportsmanlike thing to do. But you know what? It's football. These are men. Act like men. You want to taunt? You want to talk crap? You better be able to take it when it comes down. And Dan, the head coach, he is right. They shouldn't tolerate it, whatever. But guess what? They get paid the big bucks. If he gets fined, I'm sure he'll stroke a check. Probably won't be no skin off his back. I don't think no less of Branch for doing what he did. So anyway, got to watch that. Kind of disappointed. Like I said, Detroit deserves better than that, and their fans deserve better than that. If you are a big fan of NFL, you deserve better than that. I'm just now kind of starting to watch NFL again, and because we've gotten past a lot of the political stuff. The big thing right now is cancer awareness, which that's a great thing. Those are the types of things that we need to see in sports. Cancer awareness, stuff of that nature. We don't need to see politics in our sports. We don't want to see it. That's why we watch it. That's why we pay for it. That's why we buy their merchandise. We're trying to get away from politics. We got enough of that 24 hours a day. But this month is cancer awareness. My wife had cancer taken off her arm. I had a cancerous spot taken off my arm. We've lost family members to cancer. So Cancer Awareness Month. October, great cause, and we need to stick to that type of stuff. So good on the NFL for shedding that garbage. Hopefully that we won't get back to that point. But you know how the political wave shifts. And then how it comes in, and you got all these idiots that work for these corporations that feel like they need to say something. No, there's plenty of outlets to say what you want to say. Don't do it in football, basketball, baseball. Don't do it. We don't want to hear it. We want to take those few hours that we get to disassociate ourselves with ignorance and stupidity to enjoy ourselves. And in saying that, I want to bring something up to all of you all that I don't know that you're aware of. Most of you probably are. It's starting to be more prevalent on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and on TV. One of the greatest organizations I believe I've ever seen. Just a story that's it's unbelievable, man. The Savannah Bananas baseball team. Man, the other night we were sitting here and they actually had a selection show of where they're going to be playing next year. And they're coming to play Neyland Stadium. And I could not be more fired up about that. You know, I tuned into them a couple of months back and said, so we were sitting out here and I had football on and then I flipped on the TV and I saw the Savannah Bananas. And I sat there and I kind of just kept eyeballing and seeing the TV. I'm like, what? You know, I knew they were kind of silly, and the videos I'd seen of them, the kids and stuff, and them dancing and everything, and it it was just so good. Well, the more I caught myself looking at it, the more I started watching it, and not really paying attention to the game that was on or whatever. But man, what an absolute joy! The Savannah Bananas and that whole organization and the people that started it. Look into them, man. Sit with your kids and watch them. They are so silly and so I don't even know what to say, but they're bringing fun back into baseball. You know, I collected baseball cards when I was a kid, and I mean, I was big into it, and I knew a lot about baseball back then in the 80s. Just because of the baseball cards, it was something to kind of keep you interested. There was a link there. Well, then there was the big strike, and you know, of course, everybody when everybody went on strike, when the major league players went on strike, when all the parents started fussing about it, well, that comes right down to your kids. So I was like, yeah, if all the parents that I'm around, which wasn't a lot, if they're saying, man, forget those guys, just forget them, I kind of just steered away from baseball because I was like, that's not cool. It's not fun anymore. And I just got out of it, got away from it, and just really didn't keep up with it. Maybe the World Series or something like that. I was a big Red Sox fan because of Wade Boggs. You know, he had red hair, and once again, something to link me to the sport. But since I've seen the Savannah Bananas, and now I know more about their what they've got going on, man, alive. They sell out every stadium they go to. And they just added 2 new teams and got a whole new format coming up next year. And they're playing at Florida State Stadium. They're playing in Texas. They've got a team that's taken over Texas. It's unbelievable, guys. So if you want to get tickets to that, you have to sign up on their website. I think it's bananaball.com, and I put tickets in. I put a request in for 5 tickets for me and my wife, and hopefully we'll get to take the triplets, because I think they would love it. You know, they're 5 now, they'll be 6, and the music, the dancing, just the sheer stupidity of the stuff they do out there. But they're actually playing baseball, which is a little bit of a different rule, but they dance constantly. They've got a ninja for an umpire that does flips, and a twerking umpire that calls the balls, and it's just an amazing organization, and they do so much for kids, and they fostering. They've got a thing called Bananas Foster, where they highlight people that foster kids and take care of kids, and they raise money. Man, dude, go check out the Savannah Bananas, whether it be online, YouTube, but their tickets, you know, you have to sign up. But next year is going to be just an explosion for their organization. It's already gotten just enormous in this last year, but next year they had a selection show, guys. It was so silly, but people were absolutely going crazy, and it was awesome to see. And they announced that they're going to be playing in Knoxville, at Nayland. My wife said they're going to be playing at the new park down there where the Smokies moved to. I didn't see that, but she's probably right. But Nayland Stadium, 101,000 people, and they're going to be playing at I think it's Texas A&M, and that's like 102,000. They will sell it out, guys. They will sell it out. They sell out everywhere they go. And the cool thing is they're bringing this to these little parks that have like 8,000, 10,000, 15,000, 30,000, and that's just generating revenue for these baseball parks, because you know as well as I do, when you watch games, you see so many empty seats. And if we can get, if this organization can show athleticism and be super fun at the same time and incorporate music and things like that, the kids of today and that are growing up, they're going to gravitate toward baseball again. The natural baseball games, you know, your little leagues and high school and college and pros. And let me tell you something, these guys that play for these teams, they are athletes. I'm not talking about, they're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball now. So check it out. I cannot say enough about it. You know, just the stuff they do. It'll make you smile, and it'll make you look at each other and go, what is wrong with these idiots? But I love it. I love it. So anyway, Savannah Bananas, get into them. Pick you a team. Man, I think they've got 4 or 6 teams now. They just introduced 2 new teams, and you got merchandise and all kinds of stuff, man. So get on board and check it out and get your kids involved. Such a cool thing. You know, I woke up this morning and they've been talk all weekend about the peace talks between Hamas and Gaza and Israel and all this stuff. Well, I guess there's been about 1,900 people released, and then also Hamas released 20 people, and there's 1,900 other people got released, and just right now, you know, all we can do, guys, is live in the good of right now. We can look in the past, we can learn from it, but we have to live in the good of right now. And I don't care what your politics are, and most of you that probably follow me probably have a good middle of the road understanding of what life is. We don't play a lot of these games that with gender politics and giving out free stuff, free health care. It's not going to work here, guys. And not to get political, but we've been watching war our whole lives. You know, there's 2 things that I heard growing up my whole life: war and climate change. Okay? War can be stopped. Climate change can be described in 100 different ways. And I'm going to say this as simple as I know how to say it, but climate change is inevitable. Why? Because climates change. Period. It doesn't matter. I don't care how much carbon dating you do. I don't care how much speculation you look at or whatever. Climates are going to change. And I'm not saying I should just go out and decide that I'm going to take all this stuff in my garage and just throw it out in my yard and leave it. Nobody's that stupid. And I'm not saying that pollution's not real. But guys, give me a break. Give me a break. This is a money racket. Climate change is and always will be a money racket. Now, pollution, we need to stop the best we can. We are a species that creates things, and we have to get rid of those things. And unfortunately, that's just a way of life, okay? We are getting smarter. We are doing better. We are trying to do our best. But to sit around and say that we are bigger than the earth as humans, like we can destroy the earth, No, we can't. Can we harm our surroundings? Absolutely. Got me fired up, and I'm trying to break stuff. Now I've lost my pointer pen. Get me fired up. Guys, I don't even know where to go from what I just said, because war, climate change. You know what I brought up to my wife the other night, and I hope you guys remember this. Give me a second. I've got to do something. I got to get this pen back. Just 1 second. I apologize about that. Do you guys remember acid rain? Tell me you remember acid rain. I remember being told in the 80s that we were going to experience acid rain. And did you know, as a child, I remember thinking one of the first couple of times it rained after I heard that, that I shouldn't go outside. I think back on that, and I think about how impressionable, we all are. As children, we're impressionable. It's just whatever. But I think about the acid rain thing. There was some good songs that come out of the whole climate scare and all that. Midnight Oil, How Do We Sleep While Our Beds Are Burning. I love to sing that song because it's a good song. It's very poignant. But anyway, like I said, I had to bring that up about the acid rain and stuff. But war, it's something that's inevitable. And no matter what happens in the next 4 years, 8 years, 16 years, there's always going to be somebody that comes up that tries to take over a people or a country or a something. It's just going to happen. I don't, but all we can do is live in the now, live in the good of the now, and hope and pray that in the future that these kinds of things that are happening, that Donald Trump has done, you can love him or hate him. The bottom line is today is all this stuff we're seeing online today and on the news. Yes, there are AI generated things, but this is not AI generated. These people are being freed. This is the first time we're seeing these types of wars be kind of squelched. Will they stay that way forever? I don't know. I hope so. I hope that these people are like, man, this is a better way of life. But there's no guarantee of that. There's always going to be somebody that's going to come up, and they're going to get a Napoleon complex or a God complex, and they're going to say, I want to take over. I want power. And like I said, man, we have to live in the now. We have to love people. We have to do the best we can to show that we want peace. Everybody wants peace. But anyway, like I said, I wanted to bring that up because what a great time to be alive, man. What a great time to be alive. All this protesting and the ignorance and I'm not saying don't stand up for your people, but these Antifa idiots and all these people that go out and protest this stuff, you're not. I mean, Jeff Dye says it best. I can't believe that all these problems aren't going away. You've got signs. Look, we've got signs. You mean we didn't fix it? You're stupid. Go to work. Go to work. Find something. Find a hobby. Give me a break. Don't be mad when you get your skull busted by ICE or by the police or by just somebody trying to get to work and you're going to block their car. Don't get mad. That's on you. Everybody else in this world is going to work, or they're taking a vacation, or they're using their day off to be productive. They're not being freaking idiots. Okay? They're just not being idiots. Go home. These people that are protesting, they are absolutely being paid by somebody else. They have no reason to do this. Okay? These people that are getting deported and all this stuff, you're not going to like what I'm getting ready to say if you lean to the side of unicorns and rainbows. It's just not reality. If you are not legally from here, then work your way here. Okay? I rent a house to a gentleman that is not from here, but he's working his way. He actually had to show me paperwork and everything and ask me questions about it. He's doing his best to get here. The process is about 10 years long. And listen, that is too long. That's too long. You should not take 10 years to become an American citizen, okay? If they can check our Venmo accounts and find out when you spend over $600 so they can tax you, we can figure out who these people are and whether or not they deserve to be here. So the process is too long. I'm not saying that it's not too long, but it is there. People are doing it, okay? You know, I feel for everyone. I do. But I also have common sense. If I did not like it here and I went to another country because I thought it was better, and I show up over there with my chest out waving the American flag and saying, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and you owe me this, they're going to bust my skull open and they're going to say, no, you're going back home or you're going into this prison. And then what if I went over there and I got drunk and mowed somebody down with a car or cut some girl's throat on the local train tracks or shot a bunch of people up because I didn't like their religion there, but I come from here and I go over there and I find a rock, a stick, a gun in the gutter, or I buy one or whatever, what do you think's going to happen to me? Due process? What is due process? We got due process for people that are from here, that were born here, and that have paperwork that say, I'm an American citizen. Absolutely. Lawyers, you get everything you want. So don't get twisted. Don't be stupid. Don't go out and protest unless you're, I just don't even, the protest thing, whatever. Like I could go on and on and on and on, but I'm not going to. But it really bothers me that even after today, even after all these people in the videos you're going to see of people getting released from prisons, 2 years, and their families are just tickled, and it's both sides releasing people. We've never seen this before, and tomorrow there'll be somebody saying, well, blah blah blah, or they'll deflect and they'll go on to something else that they want to make you mad about. So stupid. Turn off MSNBC and CNN and even turn off Fox. I mean, like I said, I don't watch any of them. I do not have any of that stuff on my TV. Now, does it come across our phones? Yes. And you're almost guaranteed not to be able to stop news outlets from infiltrating your phone. Okay? Now, if you want to follow them, that's one thing. But even if you X'd out everything on your phone, they pay enough money to infiltrate your phone through other channels. That's just the way it is. That's the world we live in. And whoever's got the most money can infiltrate and push and push and push and try to drag you in. But on your television, turn that garbage off. I tell you what, here's what you should do. And this is only because my wife and I sat last night and watched it. And before I say anything, before I tell you what it is we watched, I'm going to say this. This next program that I'm getting ready to tell you we watched on Netflix, if you cannot handle sexual wording and the things that are said out in the world, if you are very I don't want to, I don't know how to say this. I don't want to make anybody mad. So just hear me out. If you can't handle sexual innuendo and the words and stuff that are out there because of movies, because of the way pornography has come into everybody's lives and sex sales and all that stuff. If you can't handle that, don't watch what I'm getting ready to tell you. We sat and watched the high school catfish thing let's see, it was in Michigan. It's about an hour and a half long, I think. My oldest daughter and my youngest daughter had said, "Dad, have you watched this?" And I was like, "No, I've seen it, just kind of scrolling through Netflix or whatever." I said, "I've seen it, but I don't know anything about it." The whole catfish thing, I'm starting to get a little bit more of it. I know that you may think, "Damn, I would have thought you know." I don't really know what catfishing is. But anyway, Kendall said, "Dad, and make sure Mom's sitting there with you when you watch it." I'm like, "Okay." So this has been a couple weeks ago. Well, yesterday, football games weren't really that good for me. I didn't really care. So I'm flipping through, and I see it. So I turn it on. Betsy said, "What are you turning on?" I said, "Kendall and Kaylee both said we need to watch this." And Kendall said, "You need to be sitting here with me." So we watched it up to about 40 minutes maybe, something like that. And then we had to stop it because Betsy had to fix it. She wanted to fix dinner and everything like that. So we stopped it. And then we went back and turned it back on. And Kendall had told me, she said, "Make sure Mom's sitting there." And let me tell you something. When you start watching it, it won't take you long. It won't take you long to be drawn in, and you'll put your phone down, and you'll be like, "What in God's holy name is going on? What is going on?" Guys, the reason why I segued from the news to this, when you watch this, you're gonna... Mental health is a serious crisis in our world, not just our country. I think our country deals with mental health probably more because we have the most, well, not the most, but one of the most populated regions in the world, and we have so much freedom with just things we can take in, and so much pressure to excel and keep up with the Joneses, as they would say. But and just expectations and like sports and everything, and then you get to be 30, 40, 50 years old, and then you start wondering, you're like, "Oh, whatever." Sorry, I'm getting on a tangent, but when you watch this, you're going to come back and you're going to say, "Darren, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people?" You can't wrap your mind around what people are capable of. But, thank goodness, I just let you watch it. I'm not going to say anything else, because if you haven't watched it, I don't want to give it away. But oh my Lord, explicit. So if you can't handle dirty sexual words being thrown out or reading them on the screen, because this deals with our phones and everything, don't watch it. But if you can handle that, watch it. I think we've got bigger problems to deal with than just about anything else. And it's called mental health. And I don't know. I don't know that anybody could have even helped this situation. I think sometimes people just, I don't know how to explain it, and I feel like you'll walk away from it too saying, I don't know what could have fixed that, what could have prevented that. I don't know. And even my wife was like, how? So anyway, check that out. Catfish story, a high school catfish story. I think that you'll see it. Just type it in on Netflix and it will come up. Last thing I'm going to talk about, well, two things. Slammed Enough car show. I don't know if you went back and watched my video, guys. Please go back and watch it that week right before it. And I said, if you've got anything you want to do, you better get out of town. Lord have mercy, I would have never dreamed in a million years it would have turned out the way it did. Oh my gosh, just unbelievable, guys, just unbelievable. And I hate it for the people who put it on, and I hate it for the kids who came here, and they were just trying to have a good time. But, you know, it's just what a disaster it turned into. You know, so much. And you know, I'm gonna say something, and because I don't want anybody to get mad at me. I've got a good friend who, buddy of mine, his wife, she manages one of the pancake houses. And did you know that the servers where she works, during that week leading up to Slammed Enough, people are talking about how, you know, it didn't bring money in. That is not true. It did bring money in. These kids and young adults are totally different than the rod runners of old. And I'll tell you why. The rod runners of old came in, they've had these hotels rented out for years in advance. They come, they sit, they stay in their room, they sit, they drive their car around a little bit, they go to the gas station, they go to McDonald's. They don't go in and eat at these restaurants and spend money and tip, okay? That's just not their MO. It never has been, ever, really, for the older rod runners, okay? And that's the way it is. I'm not knocking them. These kids come in here. You got kids that are coming in here, and I don't care who paid for it. I don't care where they got their money, mama, daddy, whatever. I believe a lot of us are a little bit jealous of some of the things. And I'm not saying I like their cars, but they're spending 80, 100, 150,000. We had a couple of Lamborghinis in town. You had Ferraris in town. You had just, the money was flowing, guys. There were some servers over at this pancake house. They were making like $300, $350 in the morning. And these kids, she came in and said, none of them were drunk. None of them smelled like weed. None of them tore up the bathrooms. Leading up to this thing, they loved them. The people here were there some little dickheads? Yes, there always will be. There always will be. But on the whole shot, these kids they were just running around and they were spending their money. They'll spend money. Their parents raised them better than what we saw some of my parents. My parents didn't know how to tip. They thought everybody got paid at least what they were getting paid. They didn't realize they were making $2 an hour and it was up to them to tip. You know, they just didn't tip. These kids now, Betsy was a server for years, made thousands upon thousands of dollars as a server because she was good. We told our kids, we've raised our kids, if you don't have the money to go out and eat and tip well, don't do it. Stay home. Or, I don't know, go by McDonald's, okay? That's what I hate about what happened. So now, they're probably not going to get to come back until, you know, this all dies down years from now, but I don't think they'll ever get to come back. They've said they're not going to let them come back, and that sucks. I hate it. But, yeah, Slammed Enough. Whew. Something that could have generated money. Unfortunately, the kids that did what they did Saturday night, it started at the epicenter, was at Jimmy's, but other places, man, it started from there, and then everything just kind of moving out. It was like kids together, large groups of kids together, can have fun, but once it breaks off and that angst and that energy gets going, it's like, okay, well, everything's going all to hell over here. We can do it over here too, and it's just a domino effect. So I hate it. I hate it for those kids, man. But you know, it is what it is. But like I said, go back and watch my video the week before that, and you'll see. I would have never dreamed in a million years. So, guys. Please like and share this video. Please go in and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you can, if you will. I would appreciate it. We can get some more. We can get some more content going on. You know, here I am on Monday. I told you all I was going to try to do this on Thursday or Friday, right before football games and everything. But man, it's just there's just no rhyme or reason to it. So anyway, guys, there's a lot of things going on in our county as far as elections. We've got elections coming up, and there's a couple of big ones. We've got Michael Hodges. He's the sitting sheriff. Know him and his family. I believe Chad Ogle is running for sheriff too. So you got a couple of people running against each other. And I know Chad. I think he graduated maybe a year before me or something like that. And I've known them both. So make sure you get out and vote in the sheriff's election next year. Adra Rowland, went to school with her. She's a year behind me. I went to school with her husband, Jimmy. We went to school together. And I know here as of recent, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think Logan Baker was going to run for that office, you know, and that's just one of those things. And I know those are two things that are coming across my phone really heavy and things like that. So guys, make sure you start checking into these people, and if you've got an opinion one way or the other on how you think things are going with the sheriff or with the county clerk or whatever, check into that, man. Vote. Get out there and vote. There's a big reason why things are. Is everything perfect right now? No, it's never going to be perfect. But there's a big reason why things like what's happening with Israel and Hamas and Palestine and all this stuff, there's a reason why those things are happening the way they are now. It's because we got out and voted. We need leadership. We need people to be firm in the way they do things. We can't beat around the bush. We can't unicorn and fairy tale everything. You have to press, and you have to make people accountable. Okay? You have to make people accountable. That's the kind of leadership that this world needs. We're seeing it. Like I said, I have got a strong political opinion in my own mind about what I think should happen. I will never press that on you guys, but you just cannot deny what happened the last 4 years with Joe Biden. He was not fit, was not capable, and God love his heart. His family should be put in prison for elder abuse. That's the truth. I feel that way. They made that man look like a fool so they could have power. The whole auto pen thing and everything, come on guys. So disgusting. So disgusting. And just, anyway, get out and vote. Get out and vote, no matter how you feel, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. Get out and vote. And then walk away from it and go back to work and take care of your family. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. I'm going to get off here. Man alive, we're rolling at 44 minutes. I appreciate all of you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for tuning into this. And like I said, these people, I know y'all are getting tired of hearing me say this. I got to get my sister on here, and I got to get the actual one-on-one thing going. I got to do it, guys. I got to do it. But we're right in the middle of October, and things are just blowing up, and business is great. It's good. I've left my cup. I left my cup somewhere. I've got my Bravenly sitting here, guys. Get with my wife, Bravenly, real quick. I know I said I was going to shut up, but I won't name her name. But there's a girl that started taking one of the products that Betsy had told her, said this might help you. She's got lupus or something, which I didn't realize lupus was such a big thing. Maybe I've been very blessed and fortunate with my health, but anyway. And she took it and didn't see any results. Well, then one day she got up and all of a sudden she went through her whole morning routine without having to sit back down or lay down. And she called Betsy and she said, I have to tell you something. I've got to praise this morning for this product. And so, man, guys, that is so cool. That is so cool. And I'm still set on it, and time. Give it time. Give these products time. But if you're interested in it, call my wife Betsy. If you need t-shirts, call my wife Betsy. If you need anything done that I may need to do for you, call my wife Betsy. I'm going to make her do it. I can't carry the whole family. I can't do it all, guys. I just can't do it all. I'm just kidding. I love you. I mean it. Like this, share it, subscribe. You guys have a great week. I may be talking to you from Florida at the end of this week. We got to go down for a conference down there. So I don't really want to go because Alabama, and I'll be in enemy territory having to watch Tennessee beat hell out of Alabama, I hope. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I love you guys. I mean it. God bless you. God bless America. God bless Erica Kirk. Send out your prayers to her. We are all Charlie Kirk.